Hello and welcome to From the Ocean to the Fire. My name's Danny Flanagan and I will be your chef and guide on this culinary adventure where hopefully we're going to go across all the oceans and waterways on this great planet, showcasing the beautiful seafood and all the different fires that we can cook it with. We're going to start today with a crab toast. Beautiful jumbo lump crab meat sauteed with peas and tomatoes and a little bit of mushroom in a light dill cream sauce, all set in a toasted off French baguette. Just enough bread to soak it up when you're done with that little bit of extra sauce. Then we're gonna make a Maryland staple, chicken and crab together, chicken Chesapeake. Pan-seared chicken topped with a beautiful crab cake, drizzled with a light hollandaise sauce, paired with just enough asparagus so that your mom knows you have some vegetables on your plate. Then we're gonna come back, we're gonna finish the meal with a decadent pot of creme. Chocolate pudding at its best form. We're going to make it in the blender to make it super easy for you. We're going to put it all together and hopefully you have a wonderful meal. So chocolate pot of creme. We're going to start with 10 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. Just put it in the blender. Let it sit for a minute. Then we have to get our cream and our eggs going. We're going to put a cup and a half of heavy cream. We're going to finish our cream. We're also doing whole milk. Pinch of salt. 5 tablespoons of sugar. We need to have 5 egg yolks. Rinse my hands. Then we're going to bring this up just to a simmer. We want the sugar to melt. We want the eggs to start to thicken a little bit. While we do that, we're going to pulse our chocolate a little bit. You see a little bit of steam starting to come off the eggs and the cream mixture. We don't want to bring it to a boil. We don't want our eggs to actually scramble. We just want to get it nice and hot so that it's going to melt the chocolate, create a nice emulsion. Move it off the heat. We're going to pour about half of this in. Put the rest in. Then finish bringing it together. Make sure with the hot liquid you hold the lid tight, otherwise it is going to probably pop off. Careful opening the lid. Scrape down the sides. Give it one last little pulse. Now we have some nice ramekins. This is very rich, so you do not need a lot. We're going to fill the ramekin about 3/4 of the way. Then we're going to put these in the fridge, probably for about 6 to 8 hours. So crab toast, beautiful appetizer, light but a little bit rich with heavy cream, but not a sauce. Little toast to, dip in there. We're going to start. We need to get our toast going. So nice Italian bread, nice, decent portion. We're going to scoop the center out of it. The key is don't go all the way through. So we're going to scoop this right into a trash can. It's gonna create a nice little boat to put that crab. We're gonna have some mushroom, tomato, peas. So we're gonna take these, put them on a baking dish, put them in an oven, let them toast, get nice and crisp so that bread will absorb that nice little light cream sauce. So we need to prep a few mushrooms. Set these off to the side. A little Roma tomato. Cut that core off. And these we're just going to quarter and then slice down a little bit. Probably 2 will be good. So today we're using blue crab. Those on the West Coast, I know will sit there and say Dungeness is the best. Me, growing up in Maryland, it's all about blue swimming crab. There we go. Set these 2 tomatoes off to the side. We'll put these on the plate just to hold them for a few minutes. I'm gonna grab a rag, wipe down our cutting board. Let's get our beautiful jumbo lump crab meat open, ready to go. Here's our beautiful jumbo lump crab meat. Set that aside. Check our pan. Need to get it a little hotter. While that's getting warm, we're going to go to the oven. Give those another minute or so. Put a little oil in our pan. You want to use a nice neutral oil, grapeseed, canola. You really don't want to use an olive oil. It's going to be too strong for this dish. A little bit of garlic. Just starting to see a few little bubbles around it. As soon as we start to see just a little bit of a simmer, we're going to put our mushrooms in. Let them go for a little bit. Now that they're simmering, we'll get our bread out. See, it's just starting to get golden brown. It's going to be nice and crusty. That way when we put the sauce in there, it's not going to break down and get soggy. We're going to put our tomatoes in. Start moving those around. Our mushrooms are taking on a little color. Put a little bit of wine in. Just a touch of salt. And a touch of black pepper. We want that wine to reduce almost till you can't even see it before we add any more ingredients. Turn up the heat a little bit. We're going to get some fresh dill ready. We're adding some nice fresh peas. Not too many. Now we're going to add in our cream. We're going to bring that up and put a little touch Old Bay in. Well, if there is such a thing as a little touch. We want that to naturally reduce and create a sauce. We don't want to have to add any sort of cornstarch or flour or anything to it. As it's come up to a boil, you start adding in your crab meat. Definitely be generous with the crab meat. Remembering that the crab meat's already fully cooked. All we're doing is just rewarming it so it keeps that beautiful jumbo lumps. It doesn't break down. You don't want to use a spoon and start breaking this up. I'm going to take this fresh dill. Chop it down nice and fine. You want to make sure you don't really have any stems in there or anything. This last little bit here, we're going to take care of that. As you can see, it's starting to thicken up just from the natural reduction in the cream. We're going to let it go for another minute and then we'll put our nice fresh dill in. You can see it's starting to thicken nicely. We'll put our fresh dill in. You want to wait to the end on that because you want the dill to remain nice and bright and green and not start to turn color at all. So now that we have it nicely reducing, get a spoon just to see. There we are. We're going to turn off the heat. Let's get a nice bowl. Put one of our little toasts in. Then we're going to fill that nice little shell we made. Let a little bit drip over. And then definitely pour our sauce over the top so it just starts to pool in the bowl. So as we eat this, we'll break the bread down and we'll use that to absorb all those beautiful flavors. So here we are, beautiful crab toast with mushrooms, tomatoes, and peas with lovely Maryland jumbo blue crab. So, chicken Chesapeake, two of the staples on the Eastern Shore, chicken and crab meat. We're gonna sear some chicken breasts off. We're gonna make a beautiful crab cake mix. Then we're gonna marry them at the end and put a beautiful hollandaise over the top of them. We're gonna serve them with a little of asparagus because, you know, Mom always said eat your vegetables. So first step to get this going, our chicken breasts. So start getting our pan warm. Once it gets warm, we'll put a little oil in it. We're gonna flour our chicken breast, a little flour, salt and pepper. A little trick to make things easy. Put your flour in a bag, mix your salt and pepper into it. Drop your chicken breasts in. Seal it up. Toss it around in there. Pan's getting hot. A little bit of oil. Make sure we coat the pan all the way around. Shake off the excess flour. There's the sound we want to hear. Always put it in away from you. That way it doesn't splatter. Get rid of our dirty plate. Rinse that excess flour off. We're going to let our chicken start to sear. I'm going to grab a bowl. We're going to grab a couple more ingredients so we can make our crab cakes. So, crab cakes, jumbo lump, back fin, claw crab meat. You can make a crab cake out of anything. I personally, claw crab meat has the sweetness. It's not beautiful white, but it has that sweet, succulent flavor that you're looking for. So you start with that, then we're gonna finish it with beautiful jumbo lump right at the end so it has that look. Let's turn our heat down a little. We're looking for the chicken, get a nice golden brown on it. So, crab cakes. We're gonna start with our mix. 2 eggs. Need our Old Bay. Pinch of pepper. We don't need any salt. The Old Bay already has enough salt in it. A little bit of dry mustard. A little bit of granulated garlic. A pinch of dill. Put our mayo in. And you can make this with avocado mayo or any of the new olive oil mayos. Just try to find one that says heavy duty. We're going to turn our chicken breasts over now that they've got some nice color to them. Put a little white wine in with them. We're going to put these in the oven to finish. Break our egg yolks. Mix this up just to get everything incorporated. Put some claw crab meat in here. Like I said, this is for the sweetness. We have our lump or back fin crab meat. Definitely pick this. Make sure there's no shells in it. I already did that this morning. Then we're going to add some rice panko. So this is gluten-free. just enough to bind it. One little hint on this, if you can, let this mixture sit for about a half hour. Let the panko, or if you're using breadcrumbs, rehydrate a little bit just to make sure your moisture level is correct. If you need to, you can always put a touch more mayonnaise in or add a touch more of the breadcrumbs. Okay, that mixture is nice. We're going to add our jumbo lump. And now is when we're going to be very careful. Instead of using a spoon, I'm going to take the spoon off to the side. I'm going to use my hands very gently to mix this in. You don't want to break up those precious little lumps of crab meat. There we go. Change my glove for a second. I have a nice baking sheet. Definitely spray it. We're going to break off just a nice little portion. Use our spoon. Just create a nice little cake. Thinking about the size of that chicken breast and the shape of it. Instead of making it perfectly round, we're going to make a nice little oval. Set this to the side. Now we're going to put these in the oven. Okay, so the sauce for our dish, hollandaise. We're going to make it the simple way, the easy way. Take our blender, 3 egg yolks, we're going to cut 1 lemon, juice that. While we have that going on our stove, we have a little butter melting. Put our lid on. So we let that go about 30 seconds. It just starts to thicken up the egg a little bit. I think we're going to go another probably 10 seconds. That'll give us our time. Add a touch of Tabasco, mainly because I like it to be spicy, and a little touch of heavy cream. The heavy cream is going to help emulsify and set it, so that way we have a minute to work while we get the rest of our dish put together. It's nice, light, beautiful. Leave that sit for a second. We're going to clean this up real quick and then we're going to put our dish together. Okay, let's start to assemble this dish. First thing we're going to do is get a little asparagus, trim off those hard woody tips. We're going to put them in just a little boiling salted water, let those go. Now let's go ahead and grab everything out of the oven. So we have our chicken. We have our lovely golden brown crab cakes. We're going to bring these over, set them on the stove. We just want to get a jump start, get our asparagus going before we put it in our saute pan. We have our plate. This is just a little wine. We're going to take our asparagus right out of our water, right into that hot saute pan. Put a little salt and pepper on it. Let it just get a natural little bit, almost like roasting it. We don't want to really put any oil in it. We have enough richness in the crab cake, and we seared these off in a little butter. So we're going to put our chicken in. Use a fish spatula is the best way. Take one of our crab cakes, set it right on top of that chicken. You can see our asparagus is just picking up a little color from that dry heat that's in there. Turn that off. Put a few stalks right on the edge. Then our hollandaise we made earlier. Put that right over the top. We'll even put a little on that asparagus. A little fresh dill to garnish just off to the side. And there you have it. Chicken Chesapeake, beautiful seared chicken breast, lump crab meat, asparagus, and a hollandaise done in a blender, so it's super easy to do at home. Okay, let's go ahead and plate our pot of creme, put a beautiful ending on this meal. So with all the cream in it and the richness, all we need to do, we're just going to put a little powdered sugar on it, put our spoon with it, and we're ready to serve. Well, that concludes our episode today. Thank you for watching From the Ocean to the Fire. Hopefully over the next few weeks, I'll take you across the oceans and other waterways to show you the bounty of seafood and the many ways of fire that we can cook with. Have a great day.